The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, kicking things off 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes to go until that opening bell, and we got quite a start to the week to the upside. Markets basically just going up since they opened last night. Right now, you're looking at an S&P future up about 1.4%, 46 points in the green, trading at 33.33. NASDAQ futures up basically 2% on the dot, up 221 points, 11,357. The Dow up about 1.4% along with the S&P. Dow up 369 points, 27,412. The Russell up 21 points, trading at 1489. That's a solid 1.5% in the green as well. Commodities, we have crude up about 24 cents, trading at 40.49. Gold contract up $7 at 18.73. Silver up 15 cents at 23.24. Notes and bonds, a little bit of lower price and higher yield. Pretty muted action, though. The 10-year, negative 2 ticks at 139.19. The 30-year, negative 8 ticks at 176.25. And we'll check in on the VIX this morning as the market skyrockets higher. The VIX with a 26 handle, 26.54. Interesting, though, kind of right where you left off on Friday. Meanwhile, you got the S&P up about 1.5% since where we were on Friday. So the VIX, not too comfortable getting below these levels, even as we see the markets rise between 1.5% to 2%. Over in Europe overnight, much bigger numbers than even we have right now. You have the DAX up about 3% right now. FTSE up 1.7%, CAC roll up 2.3%. So you could see our markets try and catch up to some of those totals, with Europe leading the way in some green territory. Asia, Nikkei up 1.3% as well. Shanghai down slightly, but almost flat. All right, what else we got going on? Jumping around to stories that we have affecting the markets this morning. And we'll jump to first, Inovio. So they are trading dramatically lower this morning as, unfortunately, their COVID vaccine trial slowed on regulators' questions. The vaccine maker working to answer questions from the USDA about Collectra 2000 device used in the trial. Nonetheless, jumping over to their shares, INO is their symbol. There you see the drop-off from $17 basically to $10. We're now trading at about $11.52, waiting for the open on Inovia. The TikTok saga continues. So you have a federal judge blocking the ban on TikTok over the weekend. The ban on TikTok temporarily blocked by a federal judge, dealing a blow to the government in its showdown with the popular Chinese-owned app. After an unusual Sunday morning hearing, the judge granted a preliminary injunction against the ban on new downloads of the video sharing network. We had heard on Friday, right, that as of this weekend, no more downloading it, which would have gone into effect at 11:59 p.m. last night, I believe. The judge declined to grant an injunction on a separate set of prohibitions scheduled for November 12th. Nonetheless, a blow to that deal. Uber getting a positive announcement today from a judge. 18-month, that's an officer of some, not a judge, but Uber gets 18-month London license after passing the court test. So an 18-month London license after a judge ruled that the ride-hailing app is quote-unquote fit and proper. So was a judge to operate in its biggest European market. Despite their historical failings, I find them now to be a fit and proper person to hold a London license. Deputy Chief Magistrate Tan Ingram said in his ruling on Monday, the duration of the permit was decided after submissions by Uber and its regulator Transport for London. When the company appealed the loss of its license the first time around in 2018, it was granted a 15-month license by the court. So they continue to make inroads after getting in trouble a bit over in London because of the way they were doing business. Nonetheless, there you see the action on that ruling. Up to 37.47 briefly, pairing some of that, but we're still up about $1.30 you're talking about in a $34 stock. For some action on Uber, we're going to open at about 36. The two recent highs that we've had, whether it was the one we just had in September, you're talking about 38.52, and the one all the way back in June, 38.78, right up near that level, but we'll pop this morning on some Uber news on their deals. All right, what else we got going on? Amazon Prime set for October 13th and 14th after coronavirus delayed original summer date. Pretty interesting to see how Amazon's going to jam it all together, right? We're going to have Prime Day in October. We got Halloween coming. Whether you're going out for Halloween, not sure that that's the best idea, but taking part in Halloween, getting some costumes, getting some candy, maybe even ordering more stuff this year, having to do something at home, get some decorations, more so than maybe usual if you're not going out with the kids. And then it's going to be right into Black Friday in November to December. Should be a big 3 months for the holiday season online, especially Prime Day taking place October 13th and 14th. The timing means the holiday shopping season will kick off earlier than ever. Jumping around to Amazon shares to take a look. They got some new products out that are pretty cool in terms of those products that they just announced. Dave White was on with Tom on Friday. I was listening. They're going to start having quote-unquote hunches where Amazon, Alexa, they already know the next thing you're going to do, right? You wake up, you turn on the faucet inside your bathroom. It knows right away that maybe you want to start making coffee, and so it starts the coffee machine. Maybe when you go to the door, it knows you're going to open the door and then lock the door. Interesting stuff when you think about how quickly that may be coming down the line, where you wake up and literally computers know everything you're about to do next, right? From the moment you wake up, the shower gets turned on, the toast gets made, the coffee starts brewing, the car gets warmed up. It's going to be happening sooner than we all think, I think. Amazon shares up to about 31.61 with the market. I mean, NASDAQ's up 217 points right now, jumping around to some of the FANG stocks this morning. They're all trading higher, from Microsoft at 207 to 211 to Google shares trading at 14.72. Google's almost an outlier right now with that Justice Department antitrust suit looming potentially in the next few weeks even. Facebook shares up to almost 260 from 254, NFLX up to 593. Microsoft shares, to 211 from 207. All right, what else we got going on? Yeah, that's a little CDC. We'll talk about that afterwards. Well, how about getting back to Nikola? Founder Melton's fall reveals what his backers feared. Fidelity Investments, among other investors, voiced concerns. Yeah, obviously not large enough, folks. GM's $2 billion stake loses half of its value in 3 weeks. They just threw away $1 billion, like the moment before this company was going to cascade, to have that report come out from Hindenburg, the short seller report. That's the moment GM decided to invest $2 billion. I imagine that Trevor Melton might have thought that that would be his saving grace, right? Before this short seller report comes out, he goes and secures a $2 billion deal with GM. Nonetheless, back in March, long before short seller would raise questions about Nikola and hasten its founder's exit, early investors of the company were expressing concerns of their own. Well, where was the due diligence on GM's part? I imagine a lot of things are going to be written about this company and how it progresses. Nikola somehow steadying at about $20. Remarkable in its own right? And we'll finish up with Tesla, trading higher this morning with the market. Tesla at about $425 from $407.34. All right, folks, stay tuned. Should be an interesting open with the market. We got about 50 minutes till that opening bell. Stay tuned. I'll be right back in 3 minutes, see what else we have on tap from Monday trading. Stay tuned.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P's positive by 46 points right now. The NASDAQ positive 204. Dow holding steady up about 370 points right now. I'm going to jump around a bit. One of the articles I was reading this morning just talking about that technology sector, Netflix. And one of the things that they're talking about that's pretty cool when you get into how many subscribers you have as a company, that you just increase your prices by maybe $1 to $2 in all of their geographies, and you're talking about potentially $1 billion in extra sales next year if Netflix hikes their prices. Now, interesting when you talk about the pricing structure, when that becomes something that actually hits demand, when they're spending $18 billion a year on content, raising it from $1 to $2, probably not something that's going to be a make or break for people. As long as you're providing consistent value, it's probably a price that is pretty affordable, especially compared to what it costs for cable these days. And they talk about, well, the stock has hit a bit of a lull post-earnings, given soft Q3 guidance and somewhat light summer content slate. We continue to believe Netflix will deliver normalized high double-digit top-line growth. Excuse me, clear my throat. Valuation remains the biggest hurdle. Significant long-term upside and sustainable high-quality fundamentals. Jumping around to Netflix, always a question when you're, priced on such multiples like some of these technology stocks are, right? Today, Netflix trading up with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's up about 2%. But this chart, we've been bouncing around here. As I mentioned, realistically, since about June 23rd, we were almost as high when you back it up in April to a high there of, 449. So we're within, we're trading higher this morning, but as of Friday, how low did we get on September 17th? It's crazy how fast time flies, folks, and this COVID shutdown, it will be over before we know it, whether it's 6 months, 12 months from right now, because it's remarkable when you think a company like Netflix got all of it back from basically $290 to a high of $450 on April 16th. And since then, we're within about $30 of that price right now at $482, making it up to $575. But yeah, you talk about, Disney with a very different set of woes in terms of movie production, etc. We were in a nice uptrend channel. We did trade below that level. You got Disney opening a bit higher with the market, about $1.50. News last week that Governor DeSantis, so he's going to be opening back up Florida to potentially 100% capacity indoor restaurants. Not sure I agree with it to that degree. Even if you open it up, people aren't going to be coming back as long as this thing is raging between, depending how you classify the positivity, 5% or even 11%, as John Hopkins had it just a few days ago within the state of Florida. And that does not mean that companies like Disney are going to either, because I think in a reasonable person's mind, Disney being at 100% capacity is probably pretty difficult to, number one, sell that many tickets, and number two, keep people comfortable in that environment. They operate at a diminished capacity. But, man, when you talk about their streaming, last time they came out with earnings, pretty remarkable. We're going back almost 2 solid months right now. They had 100 million subscribers between all of their networks, Disney+, ESPN, Hulu. You add them all up, you're talking about 9 figures of subscribers. It is not easy to get to that level of subscribers. Disney did it in record time. And when the parks come back, when the movies come back, when they can actually release their slate of movies, I believe part of their acceleration last week, maybe it was this drop-off here that was Friday to Monday. Nonetheless, part of it had to do, maybe it was this day on Wednesday, with them having to push back more movies. You know, the movie theaters just are not going to be anything like they were pre-COVID until we get rid of this thing and get over it. And what will happen, though, to back this back out, is that when the parks and the movies start getting valued back at prior levels like they were, and then you add in the tune of the number of subscribers they have, because it will get interesting when Netflix begins raising their prices and you have Disney. I mean, the Disney bundle, folks, now I'm biased. I own some Disney, but I'm also a subscriber. And that's part of the reason I own Disney, because I see the tremendous value they offer. Being in a house with family, with kids, we have 4 Rokus also in the news, just reading about Roku. They deal with Peacock last week. But then we have Netflix. We belong to Prime, and we have Disney. And Disney includes the bundle of ESPN and Hulu for, I believe it's like $13.99, $12.99. So how high can Disney go when you have competitors like that, brands like that, Mickey Mouse, et cetera, the whole kit and caboodle out there for Disney? But it's been struggling recently. We are going to open back. If you're looking at this uptrend channel, right, you're talking about we need to open at about, we're going to open pretty much right at the lower end of that, about 125.50 on Disney up this morning. Checking back to the S&Ps. So where we are in terms of the highs, 35.87. Now, what's interesting is before we had this bar today, right, you could make a pretty decent case. You should put this on a 20-day hourly that, and I got the right line up here, that we were in a pretty defined downtrend channel. And we've definitely broken above that channel line, even on the downside, a little bit more staggered, but using a little linear regression somewhere around there. Maybe there's your plotting. Pretty well defined to the upside, to the downside. We've broken out of it today. We'll see where that goes. Europe, as I mentioned, up about 3%, and we'll see how that plays out. Jumping around to some of the other stocks, I'll bring this back down to a 15-minute. Some of the stocks always getting pressed. We'll jump to Salesforce. They were all over the place. Pretty interesting, the volatility they've had. In terms of, it comes out that they are getting into the Dow. It comes out that they have earnings that are almost record. I think the Dow news was somewhere down here maybe. They come out with their earnings, just amazing earnings. You trade all the way up to almost 280 the next day. You've backed down to 240 from that high. Today we're going to open about 247 for Salesforce. Zoom, talk about rocket ships, goes from 300 up to above 450. You back all the way down to $350 basically, and since then it's been a rocket ship as well. Today we're going to open at about 505 on Zoom shares. Checking into some of the other stay-at-home stocks that have benefited. Lowe's, we're going to open about 162. I mean, look at the strength that this stock has, folks. Even when everything else is pulling back, Lowe's is not. Now, when, if you own these shares, you're going to see a pullback when the world opens back up. I was talking to friends this weekend. I mean, can you imagine the first month or two when there's literally, a 0 to 1% chance that the COVID is out there? Everybody's going to be out. You're not going to want to hang home for Friday night, right? You're not going to spend weekends home. You're going to want to go out. You're going to want to go to the park, to outdoor concerts, indoor concerts. Everyone's eating out. They're doing all of that. So you'll see some pain here in companies specifically like this that are holding up so well but it'll be short-lived pain because the trends are in place. After a period of 3 to 6 months of exuberance, you'll see these trends still in place for companies like Home Depot, Lowe's in a big way. I mean, just holding up really well, even when the market sold off. Target, I mean, same deal. Look at these charts, right? Just strength in a big way. We're going to open basically at all-time highs for Target this morning. Walmart, they got a little bit ahead of themselves, but I imagine they may have some acceleration as well. Walmart Plus launching, going to be competing with Amazon, same-day delivery. So they have some acceleration as well. And as we speak, this market, we'll put it on a 15-minute. We're trading at pre-market basically highs within a point of where we were at 8 a.m. this morning, 33.35, up about 1.5% in the S&Ps. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be back in 3 minutes to wrap up the show.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps up 48 points right now. Jumping around to other stories out there. Caesars, they're going after William Hill, the bookmaker over in London. You see the spike from 57 up to 62, back to 58.63. They come in with a $3.7 billion bid for William Hill. William Hill trading a little bit lower today. They were thinking that could be a little bit higher. William Hill shares on Friday surged to more than 312 pence each after it said that it received separate offers from Caesars and buyout group Apollo. So maybe looking for bigger numbers than $3.7 billion. But that gambling business, it is accelerating in a big way. You jump over to Penn National. They have Barstool Sports. Look at that run they had on Friday from 61.50. We're going to be trading at 71 today, let alone this stock. One of the just rocket ship. They were down to $3. I mean, amazing. You were still down below $20 through the middle of May, and we're going to sit at $70. Crazy. What else we got going on? Stocks in the news. Snap and Spotify getting upgrades and downgrades. Zooming in on a 15-minute. We'll jump through some of these equities. There's Snap, trading a bit higher from $24.50 to $25.50. When I say the other one is Spotify, talk about a pop there from $2.36 to $2.45. So you have Snap to a buy from neutral, Spotify from sell to neutral over the next 12 months. How about Virgin Galactic? Check out this. Bank of America initiating coverage. We go from $16.50 to $18.72 on the space travel business. You have Chevron getting an upgrade as well. They're up almost $2 this morning. And we got one more in here. What was it? Yeah, Pinterest. Pinterest up on initiation of coverage and UPS. I mean, the market's up big. Everything's up big. 40 to 41.30 for Pinterest and UPS as well. Look at that pop from 166 to 170. And the DAX, everything's continuing to climb in Europe. DAX is currently up 3.15%. I love looking at the DAX. Larry Pesavento, I listen to him, and he loves looking at the DAX. That's part of the reason why I check it out in the morning. See what's going on over in Europe, folks. DAX up 3.15%. Larry Pesavento, he's coming up next with Trade What You See. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes. Thanks.